Welcome to Real Beauty, Real Food, and Real Life. This is an episode that for cooking for two. So we're going to be making some. This is 1 minute steak. You're going to be using hamburger. We're going to be using spiral smothered sweet potatoes. We're going to add in some different vegetables with bell pepper and onions. And we're also going to charcoal some Brussels sprouts. Now, as we go along, you'll see there's different seasonings. You can use any type of seasonings that you like, but let's get started. So I like to always get my hamburger going using scissors. You should always have kitchen scissors. So we're going to cut this open, and we're going to add this hamburger to a mixing bowl. We're going to add 2 pounds, and this is, you can, this is 80-20. Sometimes it has a little grease in it. Well, not the right word, but fat. So I like 80-20, but I really like 96-4. It's really good because it's really lean. And you can get all these at your Trader Joe food store. So let's get this going and open, and then we'll be ready to mix our hamburger for the steaks. So as you notice, I have my little wastebasket. So we're going to take our hamburger, and then we're going to mix it up and just break it up because you don't want it to be all chunky. Then you're going to add an egg. One egg to those 2 packages. Then you're going to add your seasoning. And so I like pepper. I like black pepper. Use a little salt. Use a little black pepper, not much. Pepper is very spicy. If you use too much of it, it'll change the taste of your meat. So you don't want to use too much black pepper. Then we're going to use a little salt. I always like kosher salt because it has a better taste. Not that much. Kosher salt is very flavorful. Then you're going to add some garlic powder, just a touch. And then with after your garlic powder, you're going to add a touch of smoked paprika. It gives it a kind of a wangy smoked taste. And you got your paprika, and just for a different taste, you're going to use a little onion powder. It is very good for meats and seasoning your meats and your vegetables. Okay, once you get that going, then you're going to stir and mix all your ingredients up till you blend it in really well. After you get through blending it, then you're going to pat them out. Now, I have a rolling pin. If you want them thin, it's best to roll them out with the rolling pin. Now, this is a little, the word to say I'm saying is sticky. So what we're going to do is add a little breadcrumb so it won't be so loose. So I keep Italian breadcrumbs. You just want to kind of thicken it a little. You don't want it to be really soggy. So you're going to add just a little, not that much, because you don't want it, you want it to be a little thick. And plus it gives it flavor. So just these are, you can get plain or you can get Italian style, whichever you prefer. Then once you do that, you're going to mix it back up. Put my gloves back on. Should get another pair. And this is just the thickness that I want. Not too thick, not too sloppy, if you will. So when you get through mixing it up, this is how it's going to look. I'm just making sure. You don't want to handle your meat too much because, believe it or not, it makes it tough. So I'm going to take these gloves off. I'm going to move over to my grill. And we're going to add a little olive oil to the grill. You're going to put it on, this is an electric skillet. And you want to put it on about 350. Not that hot. And then we're going to sprinkle a little. That's about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Then you're going to get some wax paper. Just a little piece of wax paper. And then that's how you're going to make your steaks thin, because you're going to roll them out. So you want it to be thin. We need our grill to get a little hot. Meanwhile, while that's getting ready, we're going to clean our sweet potatoes. You got to learn how to multitask. We're going to clean our sweet potatoes to get them ready for the spiral. Clean them really, really good. Now, I don't know if some of you, I use a brush. So for my sweet potatoes, I use a brush for any of my potatoes. So when you're cleaning them, you're basically scrubbing them and cleaning them. Because sometimes some of them have those little, I'll just say little knots on them. And so this is just a good way to clean them. We're not going to do that many. So give them a nice little scrub. It's really it's a peeler and it has a brush on it. So that's what I use it for, peeling. If I would peel the potatoes, but we're going to leave the skin on. But this is just to get some of that extra, the dirt off. And it also helps to get those little bumps and little hairs off of your potatoes. So now we have spiraled our sweet potatoes and we have them in some olive oil and we're going to smother them. We're going to add the blended peppers later, but right now we just want the potatoes to cook. While they're cooking, you want to do your seasoning just a little. So you want to add a little salt. Then you're going to add a little pepper. And then we're going to let this cook up. We're going to let this cook for a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll add just a touch of garlic, just to give it a little twang. But right now we're going to let this cook, and we're going to cover it with the lid so it can cook. Okay, now we're preparing our Brussels sprouts. We're going to char them, and so what you want to do is get you about 1 pound or 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts. And then the end of it, you want to cut it off. Now, you're going to lose a little Brussels sprouts, the leaves, but that's okay. You're going to cut off that tip, and then you're going to cut them in half. And then I just have a few more here. And then we're going to season them really, really good. And then we're going to put them in the oven. The oven has been pre-warmed at 425 degrees, and then you're going to cook them for 25 minutes or until you see the char on them, and then give it a really, really good taste. This is a really good way to get Brussels sprouts in. I used to didn't like Brussels sprouts, but now I do since I fix them this way. And also, you need to have you a cutting glove. You don't need to cut your hands off. You can get those at Bed Bath & Beyond. I cut my hand, that's why I'm using them. Okay, so after you cut up your Brussels sprouts, then what you're going to do is, I have them in a little strainer, and I want to clean them and wash them off really good, just to give them just a little wash off. After you do that, then you're going to put them in a bowl. And in this bowl, you're going to add them to the bowl. And in this bowl, you're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Add your 2 tablespoons olive oil. You're going to add your pepper. Just a tad. Then you're going to add some garlic powder, and you're going to add a little seasoned salt. So you're going to add your garlic powder. You're going to add just a little seasoned salt. And then you're going to add just a touch of cayenne pepper. It gives it a little twang. You're going to stir that up really, really good with your hands. It's stirred using your hands and working with it. And then you're going to get a lemon. Okay, so after you cut up and you season your Brussels sprouts, I'm used to cleaning as I go. You want to spray your foil with some Pam or coconut oil, whatever you have, so it won't stick. And then all your seasonings, you take it and you just dump it out on the tray. Then when you dump it out, you're going to spread it out. And then you're going to add a little more lemon, not that much. Okay, and then you're going to place them in the oven on 425 degrees for 25 minutes. Okay, so as you know, we had our hamburger already made up, ready to pat it out. So we want these as thin as possible. So you want to get you some foil, put some flour on top, and then you're going to press it out as thin as you can on this foil. Then you're going to take a little flour and press it, because you need, it's still a little soft, but you need to be able to, you know, work with it. Then you're going to take it and turn it over. Make sure that it's really thin. Put a little flour on it. This is where you're preparing it to put it on the grill, on the electric skillet. They don't have to be perfect in shape, they just need to be thin. So we're going to take this and bring it over to the grill, place it on the grill and let it start frying. We got one already going. And when you're using meat, it's best to use 2 spatulas at the same time. You take one, you turn it over, and you push it onto the other spatula. That helps you to keep it in place, and then you slide it up on it, and then that allows you to turn it over. It's good to use 2 at the same time. That's a little tip I learned. So here we have another. We're going to flatten it out, put a little flour so we can work with it. Thin it out. Don't be scared to thin out your meat. Take your spatula and turn it over. Thin it out. Put you some more flour over it. Thin it, thin it, thin it. Get it to the thinness that you want. You take your spatula and then you're going to move it to the grill. Hi guys, here's the finished product, cooking for two. Here we have our charred Brussels sprouts. Look how charred they are. Remember, that was cooked on for 25 minutes on a 425 degree oven. We have our minute steak. Look how thin they are. And then we have our spiraled sweet potatoes with green onions and red pepper mix. Here you go. This is a great meal, cooking for two. Don't forget, this is real beauty, real food, and real life. Bye. Hi, this is Quinlyn, and welcome to Real Beauty, Real Life, and Real Food. I still get it backwards. Stop. Guys, here's the finished product for cooking for two. And don't forget, we're at Real Food, Real... Start it over.